Yo, welcome to the Blue Lounge. Welcome to the stream. How are you all doing? I know it's early. It's early. We don't normally stream at this time. We normally wait until it gets dark outside. But you know what? There's a lot that's happened today, and I want to talk about it. I don't want to wait. And I don't want to wait till this evening. Since I am free, I thought I'll jump on and chat with you, mans, and let you know what's going on. Big up to Matt. Big up to Daniel. Pizimo. Big up. Jamie. Always good to have you on the stream, mate. And it's Max Burton. Welcome to the stream. How you doing, my man?
Yeah, hi. I'm kind of joining. I'm cooking at the moment as well, so that's why my camera's not on. So I'll try and talk as I cook.
I've seen both of your videos, so you're up to speed when it comes to the topics of today's video. We're going to be talking about two topics, lads. We're going to be talking about two topics while Max is cooking, and I hope Max doesn't make the same mistake that I made last time I cooked and I streamed. I know Max has a bigger property. He's got a house. I live in a flat. So when I cook onions, it kind of messes up my day. So I think Max can pretty much get away with it, but I can't. Anyway, people, listen. In regards to the Messi situation, it is a messy situation. Big up Ali, big up Luke, big up Bina. Listen. The situation is as follows. Paris Saint-Germain really want Messi. Lads, I'm going to be talking about both the topics. I know the thumbnail is Lukaku. Lukaku is the main topic of this video. But I want to start with the Messi situation, and then we'll go over the Lukaku breaking news, because there is breaking news in regards to Lukaku, but I'll just wait for more people to be in the stream before I give you the breaking news. In regards to Messi, though, Paris Saint-Germain want him. Neymar, his pal, his best mate, is pushing for this deal to happen. Wise guy, always a pleasure to have you on the stream. I just wish I could get the actual Wise guy on the stream. I'd love to talk to the man. Big fan of Dennis Wise. Yeah, so Neymar is pushing hard for this Messi deal to happen. Paris Saint-Germain do have the money to make this deal happen, but so do Chelsea. You know that saying, every cloud has a silver lining? Had we gone ahead and made that deal with Erling Haaland for that crazy amount of money, then we would have no chance of even contemplating this position that we're in today. Because we all know Roman Abramovic is a big fan, a massive fan of Lionel Messi. And this opportunity doesn't come very often. And I have information that confirms the rumors. The rumors that we are seeing in the press, on Twitter, that Roman Abramovich wants to organize a meeting and talk to Messi's people. I have information from people in the know that tell me these steps have already been put in place, and talks are already taking place between Chelsea and Messi's entourage. Apparently, Chelsea have opened communication with Messi's people. Now, we're not confirming that a meeting has taken place or a meeting is going to take place, but what I am confirming is that these talks about Chelsea are interested in the Messi deal. They're accurate. And there is talks between Chelsea and Messi's people, his entourage. Whether or not these talks develop into a meeting, into a contract offer or whatnot, that's yet to be seen. But from what I understand and from the people that I know, they have confirmed to me that talks have started between Messi's people, or between Chelsea and Messi's people. So talks have started. What's going to pan out? How is it going to conclude? I have no idea. My guess is as good as yours. But this is not just paper talk. This is the actual fact on the ground. This is happening. Before we go ahead and address the Lukaku story, I want to get Max in on this. And Max, what's your thoughts on this? I mean, if this does actually pan out, what could we see? What could we expect to see in the upcoming days?
Well, it's interesting because we know that Roman loves the player, and there's a couple of times he's tried to actually go in for him. And I'm not sure if a lot of people know, but in 2014, when Cesc Fabregas was around, we were very close to actually securing his signature. So it wasn't just talk that he wanted to lose Barcelona. Something happened. He wasn't happy there. Him and Cesc are very good friends. I know that their wives are very close as well. And apparently, remember Deco, who used to play for us?
Yes.
So Deco was one of the intermediaries who put it forward to Chelsea. And so he was the first one who said that it was possible that this deal could be had. And so Chelsea started to explore it, and they were getting all the green lights, and they were ready to proceed with this deal. But then Deco, for some reason, Chelsea started to phase Deco out of the move, and they were going through other intermediaries, which Deco didn't like, as he was the one who put us in touch initially. So I think Deco spoke to his father, and because it was all sort of been done in secret, when Messi's father found out, he wasn't very pleased as well. So he got involved, and that's why the deal didn't come off. But I think Roman's had a couple of meetings since with his father in his yacht, and those are stories that are in the press, exploring the opportunity. But each time it didn't really come to fruition.
Max, if I can just interrupt you for a second, do you remember last season when he was adamant that he wants to leave, and things were breaking down between him and Barcelona?
Yeah.
Chelsea were on that radar straight away. It was Man City, Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain. He was going to go to one of those three clubs. Well, that only emphasizes the fact that this interest is real. I mean, people think because Chelsea is a big club that they're going to be, linked to every name. But no, this is not a link to every name. This is an actual target for Roman Abramovich. This player is a target. And people need to understand something else. If we just look at the general scenario, Man City, Paris Saint-Germain, and Chelsea are the three clubs that are looking to sign him. Manchester City literally fumbled the whole thing by signing Grealish yesterday, confirming it yesterday, and that's it. So Man City are out of the picture, and now it's just Paris Saint-Germain and Chelsea. And people need to also understand something else. Messi is a free agent as we are speaking. He is no longer a member of the Barcelona team. He is a free agent. That is done. There are people who are still thinking this could all turn around and he can come back to Barcelona. Barcelona cannot sign him unless he's prepared to play for free. Unless he's prepared to play for Barcelona for free, he ain't coming back to Barcelona because he will not be allowed back at Barcelona. So for him to continue playing football at the top level, is Chelsea or Paris Saint-Germain. Unless he is prepared to go to the MLS and elsewhere at this point in his career, which I don't think he is, it's going to be Chelsea or Paris Saint-Germain. And Chelsea are in talks with his people. And like Max is explaining, this didn't happen overnight. There is history to this. Max, I interrupted you. I wanted to give you some time to cut some onions and sort out your dinner, man.
Yeah.
Carry on, Max,
you said what I was going to say, actually. There was only three clubs who possibly can get this deal over the line. And Pep Guardiola, I saw his press conference earlier, and he said, you know what, we thought he wasn't available. That's why we went for the Grealish deal. And because we've sewn up this Grealish deal now, it's not going to be possible. Because when you think Grealish kind of plays in that similar sort of position, and it's about not getting players just because obviously it's Lionel Messi, so you have to get him, but then you have to find a way of fitting him into your system as well. And you spend 100 million on Jack Grealish, the sums don't really add up.
Can you imagine Man City fans right now looking at Grealish and thinking, we got you instead of Messi. We could have had Messi. We got you.
I did see that thing. I think you posted it
Yeah.
as well, where on the conveyor belt. Was it you like that one as well? Where they
Yeah,
put
yeah,
him back on the conveyor belt.
yeah.
Sent him back to
No. My one was putting him inside a luggage bag and just throwing him out of the bloody door, man. Yeah. No, listen, seriously. I mean, if I was a Man City fan right now, knowing that had we delayed the deal 24 hours, we could have Messi instead of Jack Grealish. You know, I'd be gutted. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Jack Grealish, lads. And I know this is not a Man City channel or whatnot, but I just don't understand why Man City signed Jack Grealish, because they don't need him. They literally don't need him. They have a ton of good attacking midfielders who can play on the wing, who can play out wide, they can play down in the centre, they can play inverted forwards, they can do everything. The fact that they went ahead and got Jack Grealish, it just doesn't make any sense to me, especially the price that they paid for him. If it was cheaper, I'd get it. But
it'll be an interesting one as well, that one, because Jack Grealish is a bit of a maverick, isn't he? You know, he likes, because with Aston Villa, he's like, you do your thing, we'll build a team around you, and you know. So he's that's why I don't think he's played a lot under Gareth Southgate as well, because he's not a disciplined performer sort of thing. He's one who, you know, because Mason Mount was in the side more because he can follow the instructions, the tactical instructions. So I know Pep's good at getting the best out of players. So it'd be interesting to see what he does in a rigid Pep, you know, because Pep wants certain things from his players. And he wants them to play in a certain way. So if you're not going to be buying into his methods, then you're going to struggle. So yeah, but I think he will do okay. But as you said, that position, they're quite well stacked in. So I'd have thought they'd have tried to go the striker with Aguero going. That should have been their number one goal. Then Jack Grealish, they should move on afterwards as their secondary target, because I'm not sure whether you heard the news with Harry Kane. That came out just a minute ago. I was just watching Sky, and it said that.
Oh, so something breaking now?
Yeah, that he's apologised to Tottenham fans, and
has he?
apparently, he said it was always his intention to come back on Saturday. We'll be back to training tomorrow, and that was agreed upon, which is a lie, because if it was agreed upon, why are Tottenham fining him? So I think he's had a word with the Tottenham hierarchy to find out how the best to sort of word this statement. And with Jack Grealish, he went back to training, he behaved himself, he got his move. So what Harry Kane has done probably hasn't gone down well with the hierarchy at Spurs. So, and they're in they don't have to sell him. He signed a 6-year contract. He's only 2 years into the 6-year contract. Yeah. So he's got to play ball, otherwise he's staying put.
Yeah. No, I mean, the Harry Kane situation is a crazy one, especially with his position. Tottenham need him, Chelsea need him. Man City need him, a whole bunch of clubs need him, but at the same time, his price tag, his contract, his situation is very, very tricky. I want to say big up to Mikhail, big up to Steve Chelsea, big up to Mohammed, and also big up to Bobby. Bobby, how are you?
Hey, Mo. Hi, Max.
Hi,
guys. I'm
you're driving,
on the road,
you're driving,
so,
you're driving. I could tell.
Yeah.
So one's cooking, one's driving.
One's cooking, one's driving, and I'm literally streaming. So I'm safe, but you guys better just look after yourselves. Don't want to have no car accidents. I don't want no one burning their house down. So just be good. Bobby, we're talking about two topics today. We're talking about Messi and we're talking about Lukaku. I thought I'll start the stream by talking about Messi before we move into the main topic, which is Lukaku. I have spoken. And lads, by the way, I may have a journalist coming on to the stream in due course, who can give us more of an insight in regards to both the Messi and the Lukaku scenario. I have sent him an invitation, and he has responded saying that he will try to make it. So if he's able to make it, he will jump on the stream and he will give us a better and a bigger insight in regards to both what's happening with Messi and Ronaldo and Lukaku. When you say Messi, you got to follow up by saying Ronaldo. So yeah, so Messi and Lukaku. Those stories, I am waiting for a journalist to come on the stream. If he does attend, we'll have some good insight. And if he doesn't attend, we'll try to get him on a different stream. Bobby, right now, the information I have confirms that Chelsea, the club, are in contact with Messi's entourage. Chelsea, the club, is in contact with Messi's entourage to start or to arrange a meeting in order to discuss his future. This I can confirm. Whether or not this meeting is going to happen, whether or not Paris Saint-Germain have already, come to some sort of an understanding with Messi, yet to be determined. But these rumors are accurate. Chelsea are interested, and Chelsea have started to take steps. Paris Saint-Germain, with Neymar pushing for it, with the financial situation that they have, with the amount of free agents that they've signed already. I mean, can you imagine, adding Messi to that list of free agents that they've signed? What a cast of legends, players. And it'll be very interesting to see how Messi and Ramos get along, if they get along. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the situation regarding Messi moving forwards, Bobby?
My mind is blown. It really is.
Yeah.
It looks likely, of all the contenders out there, PSG on paper look the most probable. And if we're to believe what we're hearing about all the preparations they're making for Messi, well, it seems likely, as we've said. But I just don't know. I mean, their wage bill situation, they're playing with
So,
financial...
Bobby, I'll be back in 2 seconds. Let's go answer the phone. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. Carry on, Bobby. Carry on.
Sure. They're playing with FFP as it is. And I don't know. But it looks likely to be them. The outsiders has got to be Chelsea. Wouldn't it be just this transfer market if all of a sudden you see Messi turn up at the bridge? It will certainly make me laugh. It also make me feel at the same time a bit of disappointment. He waited till he's 34 years old to make that move. Over the hill and slightly washed up. I'm tired of collecting players at that point of their career. I want them fresh, new, at the beginning. Thankfully, we've got that in the likes of Havertz and supposedly Werner, albeit by some sort of default. So I don't know. I mean, we can only watch and see how this pantomime plays out.
You know what, Bobby, you said about slightly washed up, but how old was Ronaldo when he went to Juventus? He was, 33? And he's had successful seasons with them. They haven't won anything in Euro, but he's still living up to those heights. And I think Messi, he's looked after his body as well. He's quite professional in the way he is. So I reckon that he can still go another 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, truth is, Max, Ronaldo is not prime Ronaldo. He did go to Juve. Yeah, he's done a few good things in a slower league, but it's not the Ronaldo that we knew in his prime. And yeah, bless him, the guy's done well to keep going at that age. But I think, for us at Chelsea, we've kind of, I don't know, some people might like it, but I tire of going for these players after they've given everything to another club and they've just come on their last legs. I would rather them in their prime or before they get to their prime. That's why the Haaland deal kind of, stings in me so much. But let's see. I mean, he may not even be on our collection list anyway. But it'd be interesting. I understand also he might still do a U-turn and go sign a game for Barcelona. Who knows?
It's not happening apparently because
it can't happen.
It's a financial fair play thing, and they can't afford him.
The only way.
Watch his space.
The only way he can go back to Barcelona is if he plays for free. If he plays for free, if he plays for free for Barcelona, then he can go back. But the thing is this: the wage bill on Barcelona, it is ridiculous. I saw a stream earlier from Miz, other side of the coin, and he actually brought out the players and how much they're getting, and they are getting some ridiculous money. And I wanna just answer this question by Mohammed. Listen, Mohammed, we will be talking in a lot of detail about Lukaku. I will be addressing the Lukaku story in a lot of detail because there is some important news that we need to talk about in regards to Lukaku. But I want to give this topic another 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll go back and talk about Lukaku, because this topic is also an important and a very interesting one that needs to be addressed. So bear with us, lads, for another 5 to 10 minutes. We're talking about Messi, and then we'll move over to the Lukaku story. I want to contemplate something. And that is, what if we do sign Messi? Let's say we do sign Messi. We were having problems about the wage structure for Erling Haaland, and him maybe having something in the region of 3, 4, maybe 500,000 euros or pounds a week. Messi is on a million a week, is he? A million euros a week. So even if we do sign Messi, should we pay him that much? Can we afford to pay him that much? I mean, if we want to be realistic in regards, because we're talking theory right now, nothing has happened. Chelsea are discussing, but if Chelsea do sign Messi, are we prepared to pay $1 million a week? For what is it, 30, whatever he is, 34 is he? 30, yeah.
You know what? He was willing to go take 500 and 250,000 a week, apparently, to re-sign for Barcelona.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to say that. Yeah.
So that's what we should be looking at, because we're getting him. If we did go for him, because it's a free transfer, I suppose we can push at 300 to 350,000. Because if you look, no transfer fee involved, and the package overall would still be less than what we would have paid for Haaland.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Overall, yeah, definitely. But Haaland is 21.
I'm going to say something that has been nagging away in my mind. And City are still in the equation here. Don't rule them out.
No, they're not. They're not.
No, they're not.
Oh, they've said
Pep's already said that because they bought Jack Grealish.
They don't want him.
Yeah, that's it for them now.
Do you know, if I were Messi, honestly, look at the League and look at the Premier League, the last frontier to conquer, I would go for the Premier League. These players still have some pride. They still want to be the top dollar. And I can see a Messi situation almost like a Thiago situation. Him taking a wage cut. I mean, how much money is enough? He's earned everything. And now he's just to earn his respect. And that way I will welcome him at the bridge. If he's taken a wage cut to come and play at Chelsea because he wants to just conquer the Premier League, happy days. I'll take a punt at that any day. But if he's coming here with the prima donna attitude, then I'll kind of have my reservations.
And another thing we got to remember as well is how much money the club could be getting in from merchandise deals and everything else.
Yeah.
Even the museum and whatever, because Messi's there, you're going to get people flocking to come over to see him.
I think that might be a little bit overrated. That yes, there will be some money made through merchandising Messi, but Messi post Barcelona will lose some value even with that. There'll be people that will just not be as enthused as they were when he was ripping up trees in his prime. Don't underestimate the value of a certain amount of youth. That's just life. After a while, you're over the hill. You're done. And if he comes anywhere else, he's just living out, what's left of whatever twilight he has to give. That's just the reality. Truth is, do we want to deal with that? Will that be enough for us to embrace him and for him to be of any use to our club? That's still left to be seen, isn't it?
I think Messi has a brand, and that brand, wherever he goes, is going to follow him. And I think also his fan base is so wide and so big that that fan base will also move from Barcelona to wherever club he goes, and it will be interesting to see for that fan base what Messi can do outside of his comfort zone, because Messi wasn't only playing for Barcelona, but Messi was Barcelona. A lot of people automatically, they see Messi, they see Barcelona. They see Barcelona, they think of Messi. And now that he's no longer there, that whole brand, that whole image is going to move with him. So for him to come to Chelsea, we're going to see revenue. It's not so much as merchandising, but it's in the form of deals, sponsorships, in the form of revenue that is generated from other avenues. I'm not familiarized with everything that Chelsea do, and it's not on a commercial level, but I'm sure the people at Chelsea know what they can use Messi's name for and how they can recuperate most of that wage bill, because it really is just a wage bill and a signing on fee. The rest is minor, and I think if Messi does take a pay cut, or reevaluates his salary for for the upcoming seasons and plays for Chelsea, I agree. He can do what Thiago Silva has done. He can do what Zlatan Ibrahimovic has done with his career. David Beckham, in the twilights of his career, because these are superstars. These are megastars, and megastars don't fade all that quickly. It'll take him time to fade. And I think Messi coming to Chelsea for the next couple of seasons would definitely improve our image globally, our reputation globally, and it would do something for the club. Definitely be a positive step for the club. I know there'll be people thinking about the money in a short term kind of sense, and it might be problematic from that aspect. But I think overall it would be good, and Roman Abramovich wouldn't be making these kind of steps and these kind of moves if he didn't see that potential. So I'm gonna switch to the second topic. We've given Messi half an hour of the stream, which I think is worthy of him being over 30. So we'll give him half an hour. Anyway, Lukaku. Listen, lads, Lukaku. There is some news. Give me a second. I want to find it for you. Hold on a second. What is this? On Instagram? Bear with me, guys. Just 1 second. No, I can't access it. Okay, in regards to Matt Law said this an hour ago, and I want to share it with you. And I think this is crucial. Matt Law says Chelsea hoping for a weekend breakthrough for Lukaku. Chelsea looking for a breakthrough. Lukaku talks with Inter Milan, hoping for a cash-only deal. And this is a timeline or a time frame in regards to where we are and where we want to be in respect to Lukaku. People, listen. Romelu Lukaku started by missing a penalty in the Super Cup. He had one of those moments in his career that kind of stood out for his time at Chelsea, missing that penalty. If he is able to sign by Sunday, he can play on Wednesday. We'll play Wednesday, right, lads? Against Villarreal?
Yeah, Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday. Yeah, so he can, if he signs by Sunday, he can play on that game on Wednesday. So I think, as an incentive, that is what he would be wanting to do, to come back and set the record straight by scoring, by winning the Super Cup in his first game back at Chelsea, picking up a trophy that he missed out on when he was last year. That would be something special. That's one. Two, the deal that has been proposed in order to bring in Lukaku, we said 100 million euros plus Marcos Alonso, was rejected. Apparently, the deal that will be agreed and will be confirmed and will be okayed by Inter Milan is 130 million euros cash only for Romelu Lukaku. It has emerged today that Marina Granovkaia is also looking to try to reduce that deal, that amount of money, by introducing Zappacosta, Zappacosta and someone else, Emerson Palmieri. Zappacosta and Emerson Palmieri. She's trying to introduce them into the deal in order to reduce the price. Personally, I think
reduce or increase.
Reduce the.
There we go.
I like that, Max. I like that. Yeah. So I don't understand. I don't understand why Marina is doing that. Why is Marina trying to do that? Okay, we need to get this deal. I mean, if you agree that Lukaku should be a priority target, and should be coming into Chelsea, we've already prepared a deal for 100 million with Marcos Alonso, which was refused, and they are saying to you, I want cash only, and the figure that is talked about is 130 million euros. Why are you messing around with Zappacosta and Emerson Palmieri? Just pay them the money. Get this over the line, and let's move on when it comes to our striker. Let's move on. Let's get the big man himself through that door. We can think about Koundé. We can think about Tuchemeni. We can think about whatever you want to think about. Bring him through the door by Sunday, please. What do you guys think? Max, Bobby, let me know.
You know,
go, Bobby. You go first.
Bless you. I was just saying that, you know what? Sadly, at the back of this woman's mind is to try and compensate for the huge mistakes that were made with the dead wood we're carrying and can't shift. And she's desperate to get rid of these guys, and it shows. With every deal you're throwing in these names, everybody knows you want to shift them, and you can't shift them, number one. Number two, look, there comes a point where you just have to act. I keep saying this over and over again, and I try to pull the punches because I don't want it to come across in this world where if you say something against a woman, everybody labels you this, that, and the other. Whereas I'm not even looking at the fact that she's a woman. I'm just looking at somebody dealing with the transfers of my club and just really, in some cases, underperforming. And we got to call it out. This is what we do in football. But nothing to do with her gender at all. The woman needs to act. You know, I'm tired of all this, oh, Marina's trying to negotiate this, negotiate that, negotiate whatever, and we reach a standstill and the whole thing collapses. I mean, come on. Really? If you want this guy, I don't want this guy anyway. But if you've gone all this way to go after this guy, and at the 0 hour you're now trying to pretend you're this negotiator and throw this and throw that, they're just going to look at you like a fool. They're going to laugh at you and laugh at the club. You know, these guys are serious people. They don't mess around. Look at Dortmund. That's a serious club. They're annoying to deal with, but their word is their bond. They say it, they mean it, especially if they're within contract to say it. What is she doing? I don't understand that, if at all it's true. If it's true, then I'll continue to criticize her because that's just not the way. That's not the football way. You can do that perhaps in the corporate world, and the stock exchange, wherever it is, you play with money, but football's a different kettle of fish, totally different, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree, because I think you have to have some sort of negotiation, and the Dortmund and the Inter cases are different, because the Inter still need money. Although they sold Achraf Hakimi, they're still in the need of money, because that's why they're looking at that replacement for Vlahovic, but they said they can't even afford 60 million. That's even if they get 100 million for Lukaku. So that's why they're going to be going for a cheaper option. So knowing that they need that money, then she's got to try to do some negotiation. But where I do agree with you, Bobby, there should be a cut-off point, because we can't just try and negotiate, and in the end, we do not get our target in time for the beginning of the season or something, and we probably end up paying that amount on deadline day when 3 or 4 games of the season is gone. So it's about gauging the opponents and just seeing if there is some wriggle room for negotiation.
Yeah, no, I personally think she's making a big mistake here. I love Marina in her business sense, in her financial awareness, how she wants to generate money, how she debates and haggles, and I love that part of her work. I think she does a good job in that, but I think she tries too hard sometimes, and sometimes she just needs to simplify it and do what is right to move the deal along, and not try to win every time, because when you're trying to haggle and you want to get your price and not their price every single time, you're going to end up losing out on a deal every now and then. And I don't want to lose out on this Lukaku deal because Marina fumbled a 5 million or a 10 million euro difference between what we want and what they want, especially when the deal is so big and so pricey. I don't want to see that happen. Listen, people in the chat, we are on 80 likes. And we've got 250 people on the stream. And we're only on 80 likes. So do me a favor and hit that like button. I would very much appreciate it. And if you're new to the Blue Lounge, consider subscribing for more content like this. I have Wamilu in. Wamilu in, welcome to the stream. How you doing, my man?
I'm fine.
Wamilu in, thank you for coming on. Listen, people, I have just pinned the link for the panel in the stream, in the chat. Anybody wants to jump on and give me their thoughts and ideas and opinions on any of the stories that are currently making the headlines today, you are more than welcome to do so. Click on that link and jump in. Wamilu in, tell me what your thoughts are, mate. Wamilu in, tell me what your thoughts are.
About Lukaku.
About Lukaku, about Messi, about whatever subject you want to talk about in regards to Chelsea Football Club.
To be honest, I think Lukaku should join us because of how Werner's not doing well, and he'll probably be a good influence to Werner. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you for your feedback. Appreciate you for jumping on. Anybody who wants to jump on, click on that link, and we'll be more than happy to hear your feedback. Max, so you don't think Marina is fumbling it? Max?
Sorry, I just came off mute. I didn't want to. Yeah, no, I didn't say she's not fumbling it. I'm just thinking that she's trying to get the best possible deal, but there comes a point where she's got to say, you know what, they're not going to budge on this, so let's just get the deal done. We don't want to be wasting any time with this deal, otherwise we can end up with a situation where there's nobody available. Danny Ings, who a lot of people spoke about, he's gone off to Aston Villa now, so we don't want a case of we don't get him, then they pull out because of the negotiations, and we end up with somebody like Ashley Barnes or something like that, and deadline day panic buy. So yeah, we need to get this deal done, because obviously, we got the Super Cup coming up.
Yep.
The league starts the week after, and Tuchel would like to work with him. There's talks actually. What Matt Law was also saying is that Tuchel has had positive talks with the player,
Yep.
and he's told him what his plans are for him, which he's taken positively. So that's another thing, you know. So if you're promising Tuchel a player and he's already coming up with plans on how he wants to use him, the last thing you want to do is fumble the deal and upset a manager who's just won you the Champions League.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to see Tuchel, get as much time with Lukaku before the game, the Super Cup game, because I think every minute, every hour, every day is going to make a difference. What do you guys think of these haircuts that Jorginho and Silva are flexing?
Yeah, trolling Phil Foden a bit, isn't it, on that?
Yeah. No,
That's funny.
the funny thing is, Ziyech doesn't agree, but Ziyech, he rocked that hairstyle when he was at Ajax for a while. So I thought, look at his reaction. It's like, nah.
It's a bit of banter, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah.
Football. What I like, football's lost a little bit of that. What back in when we used to watch it years ago, we had some characters in the game, and it's got a bit mechanical now. So to have that sort of banter and character, it's good. It's good. It's good to see.
Yeah, no.
And it's just a bit of fun,
agree.
isn't it? It's just a bit of fun. It's nothing serious.
Definitely. Lazy man, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Lazy man, tell us a little bit about where you're from and tell me what you think about the latest stories that we talked about.
I'm from Albania, and about Lukaku, 350k a week, I think it's a good deal for him because he's a top-class striker, and Chelsea are only missing somebody that can score goals, somebody that can work around them. We have them, of course, but Lukaku I think, is the best player right now that we can sign.
Okay.
You know what, lazy man? Another thing, he'll be he's 28 now, and so by the time he's about 32, 33, your countryman Broja will be able to come and take his place.
Yep. Are you happy with this deal, lazy man? Are you confident that this deal is going to come through, come good?
I mean, for the deal that we saw, it's like 95 million and add-ons. I think it's a pretty good deal.
All right. Well, lazy man, appreciate your feedback. Thanks for jumping on. You're welcome to come on in the future streams again. Jay, how are you? Tell me a bit about yourself.
I'm okay. I'm Jay, and I'm a Chelsea fan.
All right, Jay, where you from? UK, outside of the UK?
Yeah, like I'm outside UK. I'm from Africa.
All right. Well, Jay, welcome to the stream. Let me hear your thoughts and opinions, man.
I think Lukaku's deal is perfect because Chelsea lack a strong striker who could keep the ball. So I think Lukaku's deal is perfect.
Okay. For his ball control, for his ball retention. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the actual price that we're paying for him? Are you happy with the price?
It's too much though, but I think because of what we need, we could just give it in and get him.
All right. What about the Messi story? Any thoughts on the Messi situation?
I don't see it happening. I don't see Chelsea getting Messi.
Paris Saint-Germain?
Yeah, I think PSG might get Messi, but I don't see Chelsea getting Messi. Because no, I don't see Chelsea getting Messi.
All right. Jay, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate your thoughts and opinions, and I hope to see you in future streams, my man. Take care, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye. Thomas, Welcome to
Hi.
the stream. Tell me a bit about yourself and give me your thoughts and opinions.
Thank you so much. My name is Thomas from Nigeria. And so for me, I think Lukaku is a great deal. Why? Because I think he has something he wants to prove. Yeah, I think it was earlier mentioned, missing the penalty was a downer for him. And I think it's something he has lived with all his life, trying to prove a point. And even for me, somehow, even when he was at Man U, I felt he always wanted to prove the point that yes, you guys, you miss me. He always, I think he always wanted to show Chelsea, as every time Man U played Chelsea, that you are missing something great out there. And I think this is an opportunity for him to prove himself. That said, okay, you missed me last time. This is what I can actually do. So I think it's a kind of redefining moment for him as a Chelsea player. And I think another thing is for him is he brings something I think Abraham is kind of lacking in some degrees, and that is kind of, I might be wrong now, but I think hunger, right? There's a kind of hunger I think he comes with now because he's trying to prove a point, than I think Abraham just feels like, yes, I've attained, I came from the academy, here I am. I'm not saying Abraham is not giving his best, but I think there is a kind of push that he doesn't have, right? And in experience, right, there are some go-getting moments where I felt Abraham lacked that even Giroud gave, and even though Giroud wasn't as fast as he used to be, but there were just that differences which I think Lukaku has learned over the years, playing for Man U, playing for Everton. Just so there's a kind of experience he has and hunger he has that I felt he can lead the team with that isn't necessarily there. And again, the physique for Premier League, Lukaku embodies that. That's for I think my own take and thoughts on Lukaku. And then speaking on the Messi deal, well, I think 50-50, right? This is business again. Football is also business, right? So in terms of selling jerseys, selling, maybe pulling in money, right? I think Messi is a good deal. It's lucrative enough. Thankfully, we don't, our payroll is so heavy because of some of the young lads we have on there right now. So we aren't really pulling. So I think we can manage a year, 2 years with Messi. On the flip side, I'm thinking who has to bench now for Messi, right? Odoi is there, and
Thomas. We don't have to think who to bench for Messi. You can bench
exactly. True. We can bench exactly. But I think what I was leading that to was to say, okay, look at what I think it was Bobby or so who mentioned about what Marina has to go through, trying to shuffle or always putting somebody in the deal, like putting, like, say, okay, let's sell Zappacosta, let's add Zappacosta to the league, let's add Palmieri. I was just reading an article earlier today, and he says Tuchel was making a list, and he has 42 people on his roster. Come on, man, like 42, like, and he's like, I don't know what to do with this number.
Thomas. We all agree that Chelsea do need to get some of these players out of the door. But I think trying to force them onto certain deals may backfire. Like we saw with the Conte deal, trying to force Zuma on that deal has stalled that deal to a certain degree. So yeah, we can suggest, but if the club is saying to us cash only, then that's it, cash only, and try to have the right figure for both of us. Thomas, I really appreciate your feedback and your time on the channel. I hope to see you in the future. Thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate you, mate. Thank you, Thomas. Yeah. Have a good one. Avro, how are you?
I'm doing good, mate. How about you? I'm from India.
I'm good.
I'm definitely a Chelsea fan. Well, I was pretty much against from the very beginning regarding Lukaku and Haaland. I was preferred Haaland because of his age and physique. Now with this Messi thing coming, I would say we should invest in Messi. Now we know he's also 34, but he will going to bring loads of experience, which will also help us to upgrade our youth. And I'm also looking from the revenue purpose as well. We will be getting loads of revenue by selling Messi shirts. Okay, and that will also help us to bring Haaland the next summer, because we know Haaland will be a key target for many clubs. Well, even I will be also considering PSG as well. So if we get a player like Messi, I think that will be another thing which can attract Haaland, because Haaland Messi is a legend and he can learn a lot from Messi. Maybe might be after 3 or 4 years he might change his path. But for the next 3 or 4 years, I think we will be quite well shaped.
Yeah, no. Erling Haaland would definitely like the opportunity to play with the likes of Messi, but I can also say that
Yes,
he would like the opportunity to play with Neymar, Mbappe. Good players like to play with good players.
exactly.
But the Erling Haaland situation next year is going to be a crazy window because of that release clause that he has. And I
Yes.
think that, we were talking about a whole bunch of different aspects in regards to that. Avro, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate your time, and I hope to see you in the near future, my man.
Sure. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Jamie and Boogeyman, I'm not going to talk to you right now because you guys are part of the panel. I'm going to have you on with Max and Bobby in a minute. We're going to be discussing it. I'm going to give Mohammed a chance to give me a bit of feedback on where he's from and what his thoughts are on these two topics. So Mo, go ahead, mate.
Hi. How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me on the stream, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
It's been a crazy week, and I mean, realistically, I was also on the same stance as the others. As Haaland is for me was a better option than Lukaku, but at the same time, there's also a lot of factors coming in. When Lukaku comes in, we know he's kind of proven himself in the Premier League. With us and then with Man United as well. So I'm more than happy to have him at the club. And as far as the Messi situation goes, it almost seems impossible for Chelsea to be able to sign someone like Messi right now. And I know we were talking about how he's coming on for free and how the financial fair play rules do not affect him over here, but it's the wage structure at Chelsea. I mean, we're paying almost £250,000 a week to Lukaku already. We've got stars such as Werner and Kai Havertz on a high wage as well. Kante, I think, gets about 250 grand a week as well. So it's very hard to see Chelsea kind of target Messi right now and get him, especially knowing that we're also in the race for Koundé, and that could be happening as well. And so we need to splash some cash over there as well. As far as the situation with Haaland, I believe next year, contrary to everyone saying there's going to be a lot of challenge, there is going to be Chelsea might be favourites in to sign Erling Haaland due to the fact that Man City are looking to splash another 100 million on Harry Kane. Which could be happening in the next week or so as well. And then you've got Barcelona and Real Madrid who are actual contenders for Haaland, but at the same time they're struggling financially. We can see that, so Haaland's wages are almost going to be the same as Lukaku or close to even Kante at Chelsea. So we could get away with Haaland only by paying 80 million, 90 million next year. Ole and Manchester United could also be in the race at the same time, but I feel like he might choose Tuchel over Ole because of the project and how he's publicly even said how much he likes Tuchel as a manager and what he's done with the academy when during his time at Borussia Dortmund as well. So it's going to be very interesting next year, but in the next weeks, I think Chelsea are just going to be happy with Lukaku and Koundé, and then Messi is going to go to Paris Saint-Germain.
All right. Mohammed, are you part of the CFC Talk podcast?
Yeah.
You are? Okay. Matt and what's the guy called? The third guy? Amir. Okay. Well, Mohammed, I'd like to stay on. Unless you have to go. All right.
No, I can stay on.
All right, cool. Almighty, how are you?
Hello.
Almighty, give me a little bit about your background and tell me your thoughts and opinions about these stories that we've talked about.
Yeah, I'm from the UK. I'm a big Chelsea fan, obviously, and I'm born in London. But enough about me. Let's get to the
let's talk about Lukaku and Messi. Go on.
All right, let's go. Let's start with Marina. I really got to start questioning that lady because not because she's a woman, nothing like that. I want to get that across straight away, but just the fact she just does questionable things. And right now with Lukaku, I don't think she realized how important, how big this deal is, because if we don't get this over the line, it's we're finished. It's done because like we can't compete at a top level without a top striker. I think I saw a report the other day. Obviously, Jorginho was our top goal scorer last season, if I'm not correct, for the Premier League, and Alonso is up there as well. That's worrying. Alonso, the left back, is up there, and it's not. I can't go another season with that nonsense. So Marina needs to get her head straight and stop adding in these deadwood guys like Zappacosta. Who else? Who else was offered? Was it Zappacosta and
Emerson Palmieri, Marcus Alonso? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and these three guys she's been trying to get rid of for the last couple of years, and there's a reason they're not leaving. I think Emerson's got a good chance of going, but I wouldn't add him in part of this deal for Lukaku because I think we can get better money for Emerson. But she needs to stop the silliness in the negotiations with them players and just focus on the difference. What is it, the 5 million or 10 million they're off right now? Just slap the money on the table, and then Lukaku can be here by the weekend. I'm hearing all these reports just 3 days ago saying this could be done in the next 24 hours.
Yeah,
and
we're hoping by Sunday. We're hoping by Sunday,
of course, but I'm saying right now as a Chelsea fan, and it's actually getting worrying now because obviously we're all excited, and we're all excited for Haaland before this, okay, and that's why this is the thing about Messi. Like, do you really think I honestly believe, even Messi's on a free. I think Marino is still trying to negotiate Zappacosta in a deal with Messi. I honestly think he would.
Yeah,
it's that
Yeah, Zappacosta can be your driver, and the other guy can take care of the other things.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Honestly,
one of them
that's the type of woman she is, and honestly, I think you need to forget about Messi because let's be real. Even though it's affordable for Roman to pay that money. Let's be honest right now. I don't think Messi's the answer to our problems. I wouldn't cry if Messi doesn't come because I'm just being realistic.
He's a luxury. He's a luxury to have.
He's a luxury player.
Yeah,
he's a luxury player. And
definitely.
We just gotta be realistic right now as Chelsea fans. We know what we need. We know what we want. We need a big man up front. Whether that's Haaland or Lukaku, obviously we're leaning towards Lukaku right now. That's who we need. That's what we need to focus on. We need to stop messing around and get down to business because right now time's against us.
Well said. Almighty, well said. Appreciate your feedback and appreciate your honesty because a lot of people are a little bit afraid to come on and say it how they see it. So I appreciate that. Marina does have to address certain things because we've seen her do great stuff in the past. We've also seen her do some howlers in the past as well. I want to see less howlers and more greatness. So Almighty, Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you, and I hope to see you in my future streams, man.
Sure, man. No worries.
Take care. Cheers, mate. Bye. Thank you. Big up. I'm going to go to Boogeyman and also Jamie. Boogeyman is a regular panelist on the stream. Jamie's been on a couple of times as well. The discussion is open to everyone. Jamie, how are you? Boogeyman, how are you?
I'm good, guys. Max, Bobby.
How you doing, man?
1 second.
How's everybody?
So hi.
Yeah, we're good, Jamie. How are you, Boogeyman? We're good. All right, listen. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the Messi situation, and then we'll go back to Lukaku. I just want to clarify something because a lot of people have joined the stream over the past 10-15 minutes. So I want to clarify where we are in regards to Messi. Where we are in regards to Messi, as per reporters and as per people that I know who have got information direct from reporters and the club. Chelsea are interested in acquiring Messi on a free. Chelsea are interested in doing that. Chelsea have started contacting Messi's people, his entourage, in order to discuss the situation further and possibly organize a meeting with Messi and his people. That's where we are. Nothing more than that has happened. As we stand today, right now, nothing more than that has happened. apparently there was talks earlier in regards to Paris Saint-Germain and Messi, because they kind of saw this coming, and Messi's people already talked with Paris Saint-Germain, so they may be ahead of us in regards to negotiations, in regards to reaching some sort of a deal, maybe. But again, that is not confirmed. None of this that I'm telling you is 100% fact. These are all things that have been told and have been spoken about. They may be accurate, they may not be accurate. So take everything I'm saying to you right now with a pinch of salt. It might be true, it might not be true. Okay, now the situation is, should Chelsea pursue the signing of Messi with everything that we know in regards to what he's going to cost us, how old he is, what comes with him? We've discussed all of that already, but I want to give Jamie, Boogeyman, and Mohammed a chance to give me a more detailed opinion on this. But this is all part of a discussion. We're going to discuss this for about another 15 minutes. Then we'll go back to the Lukaku story before we conclude the stream. So I'll start with Jamie. I haven't heard Jamie talk for a while. So Jamie, what's your thoughts on the Messi situation, mate?
See, with the whole Messi situation, right? The way I look at it is, Messi is a club of his own, right? So he has a followership of his own. He has, he has so many things coming with him. Like the jersey sales will be through the roof. The popularity of the club will be through the roof if Messi joins us. What Chelsea need at the moment is a goal scorer. We all know that. It's the only thing. It's the missing piece of the puzzle. We have everything else on lockdown, but it's just that scoring person, Messi is proving this. He's for free. I know his wage is ridiculous. It'd be a deal in itself with his wage. But from what I heard, they'd be looking at Lukaku and Messi. Like, even if they get Messi, they'd still consider getting Lukaku. I think it's an opportunity we all need to. They need to take this chance, like, because this is 1 in a billion chance. Like, Messi is Messi. He needs to come. He needs to. We need to get him. Like, we need to go for him.
Yep. Before I go to Boogeyman. Andreas has just tweeted, talks between Chelsea and Inter Milan were positive today, but still no agreement. Inter have rejected some proposals with some players, including both clubs are both clubs are both positive that the transfer will take place, and they want it to be concluded before Monday. So, talks between Chelsea and Inter Milan were positive today, but still no agreement. Inter have rejected some proposals with some players included. Both clubs are positive that the transfer will take place and that it will be concluded before Monday. So that's an update to the negotiations that have happened between Chelsea and Inter Milan. Boogeyman, give me your thoughts on Lionel Messi, mate.
Thank you for having me. Max, Bobby, I hope you guys doing good, and hopefully the entire panel is doing okay. Hey,
yeah, all good, thanks.
The truth is, Chelsea need a striker. We need someone that can pull our chances away. And Lukaku is coming at 28 years old, and then will give us 2 years. There's some...
Boogeyman, we'll come back to Lukaku in a minute.
Yeah, I'm going to Messi. Don't worry. I'm going to make a connection to Messi.
Why are you doing this to me, man? Just stick to the plan, Boogeyman. I'm joking. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. Messi is 34 years old. And as much as Chelsea doesn't like player over 30, Messi have proven he can score a lot of goals also. And the only thing we're looking for is someone to score goals. And we know Messi at 34 will also give us two good years till 36. So for me, I will go all out for Messi and just forget Lukaku. That's me there. I just think we should just go all for Messi, and Messi bring, like the guy that talked before me said, Messi come with a lot of baggage, a lot of sponsorship and all those things. Probably Chelsea will make more money of Messi than they will make anything of Lukaku also. Then my point is, at this point, it was a chance for us not to invest any money into Haaland. But now it's time to just go all out for Messi then and try hard. See if we can get him. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why Lukaku deal is not even signed yet, because they doubt him. They don't know exactly what they're getting. They don't know if they're getting 20 goals per season, 30 goals per season. But we know with Messi, we will get at least 25 goals and good goals also. And so that's my view at this point.
All right, so you know we're going to get goals and they're going to be good already.
Oh, yeah, with Messi, yeah.
Top bins, yeah? No, listen, Boogeyman. All joking aside, I think Messi will definitely add another dimension to Chelsea. But the question is, and I think the other guy said it, Almighty. He says, "Do we really need him?" And I think he's a luxury. He's a luxury for us. With the players that we have, with the system that we have, Chelsea don't really need to go for Messi. I don't know. I wanna open this to everyone. Don't wait for me to cue you in. Eric Blue, welcome. Jem, welcome. Lads, tell me what's your thoughts on both stories now, Lukaku and Messi, and where we are and where we're gonna be.
Yeah. Hey guys. How's everyone doing?
We're good. We're good.
Yeah. Messi isn't coming to Chelsea.
He isn't.
He's not, no. It would be nice if he does. There's always been some kind of link with Chelsea and Messi, but I feel like it will never happen, unfortunately. And we won't get to see if Messi can do it on a cold night at Stoke. But yeah. Look, it's interesting. It's something to talk about.
I think we all know that he probably could.
Yeah, probably. He probably would be able to do it. Yeah, he's probably going to PSG, and it's something to talk about. It's interesting, to have a discussion about it, but it's not going to happen. Yeah.
Lukaku signing by Monday. Apparently, he's signing by Monday.
Yeah,
latest.
I think. Yeah, maybe everything will be done by Sunday, and then maybe the announcements will happen on Monday. Yeah, it just needs to happen, man.
How important is it to you as a Chelsea fan to see him playing in that Super Cup, back in the colours of Chelsea, and hopefully this time picking up that trophy? How important to you is that as a fan?
To be honest, not too important. I have to be honest.
Really?
I'm not expecting him to just come in and just be thrown into a match just like that. I don't think it just doesn't work in my brain. Like in my head, I feel like he needs to have a few days, to get to know his teammates. Yeah, just to get obviously he knows the club, but I don't think rushing him into the Super Cup final is a good idea. I'm not expecting him to play in that game, even though
as a sub, second half.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe he could feature. Yeah, maybe he could come off the bench, but I don't want a scenario where you just throw him in, just maybe even a few hours before after he's been officially signed. I'm not sure I like that, but either way, the main thing is he gets signed. So I'm just looking forward to the official announcements, and then we can move on.
Jem, welcome to the stream, my man.
Hello, how you doing?
We're good. How you doing, man?
Not bad. Just chilling, mate. Just had a shower, just chilling now. But yeah, all good. What's been happening? Anything new?
Well, apparently, the deal will be done this weekend, as confirmed by Matt Law. And Andreas went further and said it will be done by Monday. In regards to Lukaku, Chelsea's in contact with Messi's people apparently. So it's a weird one. I mean,
I'm still waiting, man. I've been waiting for 3 weeks now for an official bid of some kind for a striker. We've got told Friday. We got told Friday that it's that they were having a meeting.
Marina is still playing the game of adding players onto this deal, where Inter Milan have specifically said cash only, and she's still adding Emerson Palmieri. She's still adding what's the other guy? Emerson Palmieri and I forgot. She's still adding players. Zappacosta. Marcus Alonso was the first one. Now she's added Emerson and Zappacosta onto the new deal. And I just, for the life of me, I can't understand why she just doesn't offer cash and give it over and done with.
I don't think it's that, mate.
You don't think so?
Nah.
No?
Let's be serious. No. We have got, how much money have we got? I've been saying this a number of times. Why can't we just lay a bid that they want? It's not like 130 million is a lot of money for us when you look about how much we brought in last year in money. You know, it's getting to the point like it will probably happen. But I am so lost with Chelsea in this transfer window, and it's purely because I don't understand how we've moved or what we're doing. Sometimes I'm thinking to myself, have Chelsea got second thoughts about Lukaku? Are they weighing up their options? Do they look at him as being a £130 million pound player? Are they looking to see now Messi's come available? Are they looking at a potential Messi to bring on? Are they not? Are they thinking about maybe doing a season without a striker and going for Haaland next season? Like I just don't get. We've not had any, and I keep saying this word. We've had no clarity. Yeah, we've had a lot of journalists doing a lot of talking here, there, and everywhere about different things. But the main thing is, and I keep saying this, we haven't seen anything or no action from our own board, our own club. You know, and I hope we do get it sorted because they've promised us a striker, and I'm sure they've promised Tuchel a striker as well. It went from Friday, which was today, them having a meet, an official meet, them actually meeting in the Milan to understand what they want. So if you understand what they want, Mo, why don't you just do what you need to do? It's straightforward. It's like when you go to a business meeting. You either know that you either know that you can come to agreement, or you don't. Like I don't get the whole. Yeah. You have to wait a couple of days more to sort this out, or for Chelsea to do this and that. You know what you need to do, and it's not even just with the Lukaku deal. It's the same thing with the Haaland deal. We knew what Dortmund wanted. We don't know what Dortmund wanted, but they know what Dortmund wanted.
Jim,
you know what I mean?
Jim. I mean, could the protests by the ultras and the pressure that's been put on by the fans, could they be trying to appease the fans by delaying it a little bit, by making it look like they're considering the fans' feelings in regards to this situation?
Doesn't make it any better, does it? When you think about it,
it might make it a little bit more controllable for Inter Milan. Maybe I don't know.
But if you think of it like this, right? The longer you leave it, Mo, the longer you leave it, the longer they've, the closer they've got to starting their season without a striker, which means they need a striker. So the longer they leave it, if we're going to get it done, it don't make sense for them, does it? Yeah. Because fans are going to be even more pissed off. Do you know what I mean?
There is that scenario of them getting this dude called Zappa something, and
Zapata.
Yeah. And Tammy is apparently going to Atlanta, and musical chairs thing is going on. I don't know. I mean, me personally, if I don't see this deal concluding literally by Saturday night, I'm really gonna start having doubts about this whole thing, because literally 24 hours. If we don't hear nothing concrete in 24 hours, like Chelsea have made a bid X amount of money, Y amount of contract. I mean, the contract is 12 million euros apparently.
Yeah.
But if we don't hear specifics by Saturday, then it's gonna get a little bit worrying for me.
But the thing is, guys, what we got to remember as well, this is called negotiation. Yeah, so we put in a lower bid, what we considered, was it 85 million plus Alonso? They said no, we want 130. So that's the starting point for both clubs. So you still have to negotiate and meet somewhere in the middle.
Max, you're switching pounds and euros in your statement. It was 85 million pounds, and they wanted 100 million pounds. 85 million euros. Sorry, 100 million euros.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, so 85, and they want anything 100 over 100 million. So I think if we
109 million pounds.
Yeah, so we try and broker a deal around about 95 million. It'll be good for us if we get it lower than the Jack Grealish one, because we want all the pressure on Jack Grealish, right, for being the most
100%.
expensive player
Yeah.
in the club. So we can get even at 98 million or 99. So he's not the most expensive player. Then that's psychologically that could be what we're trying to do. Get it just under.
I want to address something to the international fans. who are following the Chelsea transfer window, because I've seen a lot of comments in respect to this, but you guys need to understand something. We are no longer a part of the European Union. We were never part of the European currency. We never used the euro. We always had the pound sterling as our currency. Okay, so if reports are being made in euros, that's because Europe uses the euro. We don't use the euro. So we're going to be talking about pound sterling. If that causes you guys confusion, then it is what it is. But we use the pound, they use the euro. There's a conversion rate, and people need to work it out. I've heard people saying that we should report about these stories just using the euro. Well, that's not our currency, okay? And it doesn't make sense for us to use the euro. I mean, we can talk about the euro exchange rate, we're bidding this amount in euro, but at the end of the day, for us, the pound sterling figure is important. European transfers, they can talk about the euros without the pound sterling because that's their transfer. But for us, we are going to use the pound sterling figure in our discussions because that's our currency. So the international fans, you guys need to understand that Britain still use the pound. We don't use the euro. So I just want to put it out there because I saw a lot of people talking about that and confused about that. Why are we not talking about just euros? Why are we talking about pounds? Well, that's because it's our currency. And it's a tricky one. It's a tricky window. No one's talking about Koundé anymore. What's happening with Koundé? Mo, CFC Talk. Any news on Koundé?
I mean, it just seems like everyone's just focused on Lukaku at the moment. Just get that over the line before we move on to any other kind of player. Because even, I think, Fabrizio Romano in the last hour stated that Chelsea haven't actually made any contact with Messi, which is quite contradictory to the news that we got where Roman Abramovich called in an emergency meeting. So at the moment, I feel like everyone at Chelsea just wants to get over the line with Lukaku. They know Messi won't be going to PSG in the next 2 or 3 days. They might even have a chance at speaking with Messi. But it's also they've also got to consider the fact that the PSG are so far ahead in the deal with Messi that maybe going to Messi right now would risk their deal with Lukaku and shift attention to Messi, and then that way it might fall out and neither of them would come at Chelsea. We've known throughout the summer window that Inter Milan have been persistent to sell Lukaku. However, they've just recently turned around and said, okay, you know what, we'll sell it to Chelsea if they're offering us something in the sorts of £130 million. However, we know Marina and the way she operates and how she will not give an extra penny for any player out there. So she's trying her best in terms of getting players on that deal. I don't know if this is actually a report that is verified or not, but it's because Inter Milan inquired about those players before as backup for their positions. However, they just feel like for Lukaku, they would rather get a straight up sum and then later on go ahead and get those players. I don't exactly know what difference that would make, because at the end of the day, they would have to still pay for those players and maybe even a higher amount than what they're getting at the moment. Koundé is going to happen.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
it's how they balance their books, and it may even be something where they ask for a loan deal with an option to buy next season, so it doesn't come on this season's books. It goes on next seas's.
Yeah, so there's a lot of possibilities. And in terms of Koundé, it just seems like everything's slowed down a lot right now. We know that Chelsea made significant advancements with Koundé, but once the Lukaku news picked up, everything with related to Koundé slowed down and it quieted down. So hopefully once Lukaku is over the line and if Messi goes to PSG and it's confirmed in the next few days, then Koundé will be Chelsea's next next target to go for.
Yeah, because I think Matt Law did mention that. So they're concentrating all their efforts at the moment on Lukaku. Koundé will be signed regardless of what happens to Zuma, I'm hearing. But that's an easier deal to complete because obviously he's agreed terms, etc., etc. We'll try and work out some finances with Sevilla. So once we get this big Lukaku deal out of the way, then Koundé should follow.
Just a question I want to kind of throw out, if that's fine. I feel like Koundé is being overpriced by Sevilla. I think the market value for him is about £30 million, is what we're hearing. Sevilla are asking around 60 to 70 million pounds, which just seems a lot unnecessary right now, especially knowing that we last year sold, not sold, but loaned out Tomori, and this year sold Tomori for just 28 million, who had the potential to come into the first team. And then we've also got someone as backup from the academy. You know, Chalobah played really well in the two preseason games against Arsenal and Tottenham. So why aren't we focusing on using him right now? I mean, we've already got so many options in the back.
To be honest, mate, there's levels to what you're talking about here. Koundé is not the level of Chalobah. Yeah, I know you're saying that we should use them as an option rather than spend money on an individual. But there's a lot that Koundé can offer that them players that you mentioned cannot actually. His versatility in the game, being able to play across the back, can also play as a DM as well. Something that I think Chelsea have seen and thought to themselves, we could actually utilise this guy, especially if we have injuries, especially if we get injuries later in the season. And I think the Koundé signing is a very good signing, actually. It surprised me that we'd actually gone for him, to be honest, don't get me wrong. But when I think about it, when you think about Zuma, for example, if he is to go, which it looks like he may do, I think he works a lot more better under a Tuchel system than a Zuma does. So I think it's a win-win for us in terms of the Koundé thing.
Jim,
with his valuation,
one second. Jim, can you confirm, does he have an 80 million euro release clause?
Yes, it is. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It's 80 million was the release.
He hasn't. Well, they're saying 80, but there's talks that it's potentially 70. I've heard from the papers that it's 80 million euros. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to kind of clear up. Yes, if Zuma does go out, which I don't want to see him go out right now, because I know, yes, he doesn't fit in the back three. He's been great in the back four under Lampard. He hasn't been at his best under Tuchel. But if I do see Zuma going out and then Koundé coming in, for me, that means, yes, that's good business. But to keep Zuma and then also keep Koundé would just be a bit too much for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I heard that the club are willing to accept less than the actual release clause, but you can't expect them to take like half the price of the release clause just because his market value isn't that high. So obviously they'll demand a lot of money for him, but it's interesting that Chelsea are willing to pay as much as 70 million pounds, I think. It's an interesting one, but obviously if Tuchel wants it, then that's the main thing for me. And obviously, like you said, yeah.
Eric, that's the issue. They don't want to pay that. That's why there's a delay in it. And the other option you got with Zuma is we're overvaluing him and they're undervaluing him at the moment. So that's another real issue. So we're offering them a certain amount of cash, but they're not valuing Zuma like we're valuing them, if that makes sense. So it's negotiating what how much we need to top up in cash to get the deal done, including Zuma. Because I don't think Chelsea wanna just do a cash only deal for Koundé. I think they want to try and get players off the books, because you've got to bear in mind we've still got a lot of players that need to leave. I think anyway within that squad, in my eyes, a bit deadwood. Not Zuma, but other deadwood players like Alonso and Emerson. We've got to get rid of the Barkley still and the others that have come back as well. So it makes a lot of sense, why Chelsea are taking a little bit longer with this rather than just giving them the money, I think.
And the thing is as well, they'd already agreed to deal with Tottenham, didn't they, for 30 million plus Sanchez, and Zuma's a lot better than Sanchez. So if that's what the bargain was for the Tottenham, then I think that should be a similar.
We've lost you, Max. You've lost you, Max.
Hello?
Let's give Max this. Yeah, you're back. All right.
Still there?
Yeah, we lost you for a second there. Lost you for a second there. Just go back a minute and just repeat what you said for the over the postman.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
My Wi-Fi was messing about. I don't know what it was. Yeah. Right. So,
just go back a minute. Yeah, go on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zuma wanted to stay in London. He wasn't keen to go to Sevilla, and that's why I heard that he was sort of stopping the move.
Yeah. But the West Ham negotiations.
Right, guys. Anyway, I need to.
I think he's also stopped. He doesn't want to leave the West Ham as well.
Because of wages.
Yeah, Max, you're having a serious lag issue on your end, mate. If you can fix it and come back on, we'll be here.
I think he said he needs to leave as well.
I think he might. I think he might do. Yeah, Max, I've taken you out of the stream just to save you some effort because I think he's having problems. Yeah, listen, people. We are on 138 likes, 12 away from 150. Let's get to 150. We'd appreciate that. We've got 145 people in the chat, so let's push that. I've got a guy called Matthew Zulu. Yeah, Matthew Zulu. How are you, Matthew? Hello, Matthew. Bye, Matthew. All right, so where were we, guys? Are you positive? Are you confident that we're gonna get Romelu Lukaku in through the door before the Super Cup? Is he gonna make history? I want to ask you that question as your final thoughts as we conclude the stream. Sorry, Mo. Go on.
I was just gonna say, doesn't he need to quarantine because he's coming from Italy, which should be on the amber list at the moment in the UK, which is a good question to kind of throw in there because if he even comes out here on Sunday, he's gonna have to at least do 5 days quarantine. The game's on Wednesday, so it's gonna be very close.
I think the rules have been changed for European travellers. European and US travellers, as long as they've been vaccinated, they don't have to quarantine. I think
as long as they take a test on arrival and it's negative.
Yeah, I read something along those lines. I'm sure they'll find a way, Mo. They'll find a way. Yeah, I mean, they literally put Portugal on the green list just for the Champions League, and then we had the final, and then straight away they'll put back on the amber list. So. Yeah, they'll find a way. They'll get around it. Lads, final thoughts before we conclude the stream. I'll start with Bobby. Is Lukaku going to make history on Wednesday in the Super Cup? Give me your final thoughts. We'll start with Boogeyman.
Listen, the way things are looking, I think I just want Chelsea to sign someone, at least before the start of the season, whether it is Lukaku, Messi, or Koundé. I just want them to sign something because I don't really understand what Marina and her groups are doing at this point. So whatever Tuchel wants, Tuchel will get it and we will support it. That's all I can say. But whether Lukaku will play for the Super Cup on Wednesday, I don't think so. I don't think he will be signed on time to even be part of that team anyway. So he's not going to make any history on Wednesday.
All right. Well, Boogeyman positive as always. I love it. I mean, the name Boogeyman is perfect, man. It's perfect. I'm serious. Listen, before we continue, guys, I've added some new emojis. To all my paying subscribers. I've added Lukaku in the emojis. I've added who else? I think Ben Chilwell and a couple of new emojis. So for all of those who are subscribed or are paid subscribers, you can check them out and enjoy those new emojis. Jamie, I want you to be a little bit more positive, mate. Boogeyman kind of killed the mood, man. So, what's your thoughts?
I don't think I'm going to be too positive either, to be honest with you. The way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised. In my head, at the moment, on Wednesday, we'll be lining up with no new striker or no new signing at all, I don't believe. I think things just keep stalling. At this stage, in my head, I just don't see it happening soon enough. I just don't. They might agree something, or I don't know. It's the Inter boards trying to get them, to sell. It's going to be hard, and I don't see it, to be honest with you.
All right, fair enough. Jem, are you any more positive than these two, or are you on the same boat?
Positive about what? Lukaku?
About us, Lukaku playing on Wednesday in the Super Cup.
Well, it depends on the COVID rules. I don't know if that's the case or not. I don't know what the situation is with that.
Let's just pretend the COVID rules are going to be fine. Let's just pretend.
Whoever I ain't saying Lukaku, whoever we bring in, whoever we decide to bring in.
I'm saying would Lukaku, bearing COVID rules allow it, would that deal be concluded by Monday, by Sunday? Do you think that's going to be happening? Do you have a positive feeling about the deal being concluded before Monday, before Sunday?
It's a tough one because we've been promised a lot of deadline dates and we're still waiting, and we've been told it's Sunday. We was told it was going to be Friday. Before Friday, we was told it was going to be Wednesday. I said if we're going to get a striker and it's going to be sorted and Lukaku's coming, I agree with what Fab said on his Twitch with Christoph the other day. He said if Chelsea to get Lukaku, it has to be this week. It has to be at some point this week. So Sunday being the last day, if that is the case and what they've reported is true, then yeah, why not? I'll be positive. We can get Lukaku on Sunday based on what they say.
All right, cool. Mo, your thoughts?
I'm not exactly sure if he's going to play the Super Cup, but yeah, I'm very confident that we're going to end up signing him. That's there's a lot of kind of tier 5 reports from Milan saying that they're holding off, they're listening to the fans, this and that, all that stuff. But no, it's going to happen. But I don't think it's going to be in time for the Super Cup. But I just hope he comes in and he performs from day one, because I know how ruthless Chelsea fans we are. Werner last season, we all were over him after 2 or 3 games. So yeah, I just hope that 130 million that we're paying pays off, and that's about it, to be honest.
All right, cool. I'll let Eric have the last word. Bobby, what's your thoughts on this?
Will Lukaku be signed in time to play in the Super League? In a word,
Super Cup.
In the Super Cup.
Where against the Super League? Where with the Super Cup?
Yeah, in the Super Cup, that is if we sign him at all. In a word,
no. Wow. All right. Brilliant. Eric, tell me.
Yeah. Okay, I'll start off by saying, if Lukaku doesn't sign, I'm going to be pretty depressed, man. And some serious questions will have to be asked. Okay, but I think he will sign, but if he doesn't, that would be bad.
Yeah.
But assuming he does sign, I don't expect him to play in the Super Cup. I don't think he will. I don't want him to.
Wow. Okay. That's different. That's different. You don't think he will is one thing. You don't want him to. Explain.
Well, I think I was talking about it a little bit before, but basically, I don't want to rush him. I don't want to rush
time to adjust, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay, okay. Fine.
So I don't want to rush things. I don't want him to just fly into London and then it's time to put on the shirt and go and play this important final. Some people may disagree, but that's just my opinion. But the main thing is the signing. So if he signs, that's good. We can move on. There's somebody there. But if he doesn't, there will be an inquest. That's just the reality. People are already upset. People are already talking about it. But let's not. I don't want to think about no striker being signed or Lukaku not coming in. That would be the worst case scenario, in my
Announce
opinion.
Haaland, man. Announce Haaland.
Yeah, no. Listen, lads, please don't spam in the chat. I'll put you on a timeout. Next time I'll ban you. So please don't spam in the chat. Listen, before we conclude, Jem is going to be streaming in about 24 minutes. So Jem, tell the people where you're going to be streaming and what's the topic of your stream.
Yeah, it's not going to be on my channel, which is GNA TV, guys. That's it's basically I'm doing it on a friend of mine's channel, just show some support. Basically, he's doing once a week. He's doing a show called the Chelsea Grounded Show. So basically, what we're doing on there is just diving into the topics: Lukaku, Messi, Koundé. We're going to talk a little bit about Roman Abramovic as well in Chelsea's transfer sort of organisation up to now and what we think about that. But yeah, if you go on my Twitter, CFC_Gem. The link to the description on YouTube, it's called First XI. So if you guys want to go over there and catch us over there, you can do that and get involved as well. Be much appreciated.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget to subscribe to GNA TV. Good channel, good content. Make sure you guys give that a subscription as well. Mo, CFC Talk, tell us a little bit about your podcast, man, and where can the people find you?
Yeah, so we're called the CFC Talk Podcast. We do episodes right after a match, and we discuss usually the match day, the previous match day, and the next match day kind of format. And at the moment, we're just focused on transfer news as everyone else. So we're going to be dropping an episode tomorrow morning called CFC Talk. If you can find us on YouTube, you can find us on various podcast platforms. And if you're looking for some short form content, then CFC Chats is a good option for you. 2 to 5 minute videos each with the other hosts planning, as well as live streams on a daily basis.
All right. Brilliant. Well, thanks to everyone for taking part in the stream. It's been a good one. Normally I stream later, but I thought I'll do one earlier today. I might change my schedule because I know some people weren't happy with the late streams. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully we'll have some news over the next couple of days. Stay tuned to the Blue Lounge. Make sure you've liked the stream, hit that subscribe button, and turn that bell notification button on. So I will see you in my future streams. Have